The waitress's trembling voice cut through the luxurious silence of the private dining room only seconds before the billionaire signed the most important international contract of his life. She had carried expensive wine to powerful people for years without anyone noticing her, but this time she noticed something no one else did. The German translator standing beside the billionaire was deliberately changing critical words, twisting numbers, and quietly leading him toward financial disaster. One warning from an ordinary waitress threatened to stop a deal worth billions of dollars, and in that unforgettable moment, everyone believed she had just destroyed her own future. If you believe kindness, honesty, and second chances can change someone's life, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to our channel, Spread Kindness Star. Your support helps us bring more emotional stories that inspire people around the world. Ethan Lawson had built one of the world's fastest-growing technology companies after surviving years of poverty. He had never inherited wealth, never enjoyed privilege, and never forgotten what it felt like to count coins before buying dinner. Every dollar he earned represented nights without sleep, years of sacrifice, and dreams that many people had laughed at. His latest goal was even larger than everything he had accomplished before. A partnership with one of Germany's largest manufacturing companies would transform his business into a global empire. Investors waited eagerly, financial news channels followed every movement, and thousands of employees depended on the agreement becoming reality. Ethan understood that one signature could change countless lives, yet he also knew international business depended entirely on trust. The negotiations were scheduled inside one of the city's most elegant hotels. Crystal chandeliers reflected across polished marble floors while executives from different countries gathered around a beautifully prepared dining table. Every detail had been carefully arranged to impress both sides. Since neither party spoke the other's language fluently, professional translators became the bridge holding the agreement together. Ethan trusted his interpreter without hesitation because the agency that provided the translator had an excellent reputation. There seemed to be no reason for suspicion. Among the hotel staff worked 26-year-old Sofia, a quiet waitress who rarely attracted attention. Most guests saw only another employee carrying plates and refilling glasses, but few knew the difficult journey that had brought her there. Sofia had been born in Germany before moving with her widowed mother to another country during her teenage years. Her mother had worked endless shifts cleaning offices to pay rent while encouraging Sofia never to abandon education. Although financial hardship forced Sofia to postpone university, she continued studying languages every evening after exhausting workdays. German remained her first language, English became almost perfect, and she dreamed that one day those skills would open a better future. Until then, she simply served food while invisible to the wealthy people around her. As dinner progressed, Sofia quietly noticed small inconsistencies in the translator's words. At first she assumed she had misunderstood. Business terminology could be complicated, and experienced professionals rarely made mistakes. Yet sentence after sentence confirmed her growing fear. Important guarantees disappeared during translation. Payment schedules changed slightly. Liability clauses became weaker. Profit percentages shifted in subtle ways that only someone fluent in both languages could recognize. The German executives looked satisfied because they believed everything matched their proposal, while Ethan smiled confidently because he trusted the translated version completely. Neither side realized they were hearing different agreements. Sofia's heartbeat became faster with every passing minute. She continued serving dinner while her thoughts raced uncontrollably. Speaking up could cost her job immediately. The hotel valued discretion above everything else, and interrupting billionaires during confidential negotiations would almost certainly end her employment. Even worse, nobody might believe an ordinary waitress over an internationally certified translator. She imagined returning home unemployed, disappointing her hardworking mother once again. Still, another thought refused to leave her mind. If she stayed silent, an honest man might lose billions because she chose comfort instead of courage. When the contracts appeared on the polished table and expensive fountain pens were placed beside them, Sofia realized time had run out. Her hands shook so violently she nearly dropped the serving tray. Taking one deep breath, she stepped toward Ethan before anyone could stop her. Every executive stared in disbelief as the quiet waitress respectfully apologized for interrupting but insisted there was something far more valuable than perfect service. She explained that the translator was not accurately representing the German discussions. The room instantly froze. Security staff looked ready to remove her. Hotel management turned pale. The translator confidently dismissed her warning with a calm smile, accusing her of misunderstanding specialized business language. The atmosphere became painfully tense as dozens of eyes focused on Ethan, waiting to see whether he would trust a billionaire's hired expert or an unknown waitress. Instead of reacting with anger, Ethan noticed genuine fear rather than ambition in Sofia's expression. She looked terrified, not proud. People seeking attention rarely appeared willing to sacrifice everything. Ethan quietly asked both translators to independently translate several sections of the contract without hearing each other's responses. The differences became impossible to ignore. Independent legal experts were immediately called into the room. Within an hour they confirmed the horrifying truth. The original translator had deliberately altered critical financial clauses that would have transferred enormous liabilities onto Ethan's company while secretly benefiting another investment group connected to him. One dishonest individual had nearly engineered one of the largest corporate betrayals in recent memory. The deal was paused while authorities began investigating the fraudulent translator. News of the attempted deception spread quickly among everyone involved, but the greater surprise came from Ethan's reaction toward Sofia. Instead of rewarding her with a simple bonus, he asked about her background, curious how a hotel waitress possessed such exceptional language skills. Sofia shyly explained her unfinished education, her mother's sacrifices, and the dreams she had quietly carried for years without expecting anyone to notice. Ethan listened carefully because her story reminded him of his own forgotten beginnings. Success had surrounded him with luxury, but her honesty reminded him that true greatness often hides beneath ordinary uniforms. Weeks later, after every contract had been independently reviewed and correctly translated, the German partnership was finally completed under fair conditions benefiting both companies. Investors celebrated, thousands of employees gained greater job security, and millions of dollars that would have been lost remained available for innovation and future hiring. Yet Ethan considered the greatest victory something entirely different. He offered Sofia a full scholarship to complete her international business education while also inviting her to join his company's global communications department after graduation. He explained that intelligence mattered, but integrity mattered even more. Companies could teach technical skills, but honesty under pressure could never be manufactured. Sofia accepted with tears she could no longer hide. Her mother cried even harder after hearing the news because years of sacrifice had finally produced an opportunity neither of them had dared imagine. For the first time in many years, hope replaced fear inside their small apartment. Sofia continued studying tirelessly, determined to honor the trust placed in her. She eventually became one of the company's most respected international advisors, ensuring that transparency and ethical communication remained central to every partnership. Whenever new employees asked how she had received such an extraordinary opportunity, she never spoke about luck. She simply said that doing the right thing often feels dangerous before it becomes rewarding. Ethan never forgot the lesson either. From that day forward, every international agreement required multiple independent language reviews. More importantly, he changed company culture so every employee, regardless of position, could report concerns without fear of punishment. He often reminded executives that wisdom does not belong exclusively to people sitting at the head of the table. Sometimes the person carrying dinner notices what everyone wearing expensive suits completely overlooks. ***, before we reach the ending, please tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were Sofia? Would you have stayed silent to protect your job, or risked everything to save a stranger? We genuinely want to read your thoughts. ***. Years later, Ethan and Sofia stood together at an international conference discussing ethical leadership. Thousands of young professionals listened as they described how one act of courage from an overlooked waitress had prevented disaster and changed countless lives forever. Their story reminded everyone that honesty often arrives from unexpected places, and the greatest opportunities frequently begin with the smallest acts of bravery. Wealth may build companies, intelligence may negotiate contracts, but character is what protects both. In a world where deception often hides behind polished appearances, one compassionate heart willing to speak the truth can become more valuable than billions of dollars. **** If this story touched your heart and reminded you that courage, kindness, and honesty still matter, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to * Spread Kindness Star. Every interaction helps us continue sharing stories that inspire hope and remind the world that one honest person truly can change everything. ****.